In this film we're going to have a quick look at version 2.0 software on the LH101 handset. There's 4 new features that have been added: fast clock, the global Railcom programming on main reader, some switching of the points, and register mode programming, which is an ancient form of decoder programming that most of you will never use, but it's there. I'll cover that one off. Okay, so the first thing we'll quickly look at, using my faithful assistant here, which is a Dapple Loco fitted with an ESU sound decoder, is programming on main. So the global Railcom receiver has been built in, and now with version 2 we can actually use its functionality. So we're out there on the main track, address 3, go into the menu, scroll round to programming on main. So we'll just confirm that it's an ESU chip, so CV8, press loco, value 151, so that's the manufacturer's ID for ESU. I've covered that in more detail in a separate film, so we'll just go past that. And obviously we'll just quickly advertise, because we're here, that A&H Models is doing British 00 now. So the next feature of the update is actually more of a technicality, so it's to do with switching points. So when you go into points, the M button would toggle the point switching, but on some decoders, actually what I've seen it in is the turntable decoders, you actually want to be able to send it repeated instructions. So the plus can be sent with the 8 and the minus can be sent with the 0. So on a turntable decoder, each time you'd press plus, it would go clockwise 1 step. So with the M button toggling it, it would just go back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. So they've added in this functionality where you can send the same command multiple times using 8 and 0. So that's just a quick technicality on that one. So another feature is the fast clock or model clock. So we can display it using the arrow, so it switches between the function display and the clock. I've done a separate video showing how you set all the date and time and the acceleration factors. You can see on this one that my minutes are going quite fast, so I think I've got quite a high acceleration factor on it. The clock is handled in the LZV200, so all the handsets should be synchronized. So with all the handsets synchronized, you can operate a timetable on your layout. So if you've got various operators, you can make sure that they're dispatching trains at the correct time, so they'll arrive at the correct time. So it brings a whole new sort of functionality to the system. The ping in the middle, the clock is always the same on every handset that's connected to it, and at the same acceleration rate. So another part of the update is register mode programming. So I have to admit, this is an area that is a little bit before my time. So early DCC decoders were programmed using registered rather than CVs. So they've just added the functionality to be able to do that. So programming on the programming track. So now there is the ability to change registers. So you've got loco address, CVs and register programming. So it'll be handy for those people that have got pretty ancient DCC decoders that they like to set up. So there's a final item on the update version 2.0 called service variables, and I'm going to skim over this right at the moment because there hasn't been much published about it yet, so I'm guessing it's something that Lenz are working on. And service variables are entirely to do with the setup of the LZV200. So the example they give is changing the baud rate of the inbuilt interface. However, at the moment there isn't a published list of these variables, so word to the wise, don't go in and change anything until there is a list so we know what's actually going on there. So it's just something that they're built in and we'll be working on. So again, you'll see it in there in the setup of the system. Service variable read and write. At the moment we're just going to leave that. We don't know the consequences of going in and messing around before they've published what it all means. I presume it can all be undone with a full reset, but I'm not going to be the one to find out that it can't. So I'll just remind you that we can update the handsets at the shop at the moment, and Lenz are working on an update system so you can do it at home from a PC. If you want to display the version of the software, you can go into Setup LH101 and then the option that says version number showing, and that's there. I say it's a quick overview. I have done more detail on the other features in separate films on our website, and I will cover service variables once we fully understand what Lenz's thinking is there. But at the moment, again, yes, the word of caution, until we know what it is, leave it alone.